Good morning, everybody. Lovely morning. Something feels quite light-hearted about a Saturday yoga class for some reason. So I'm really glad that you're here to join me, lots of you, for a heart-opening flow. And it's a flow that will involve little bits of repetition. It may be, I don't know how you're set up in your room, but it may be that if you can set your mat lengthways to face me, you might find it easier to follow some of the moves. But if you can't, because there's two of you in a row like that, then don't worry, you'll be fine. You'll work it out. All you're going to need is a blanket or a block to sit on, maybe a blanket for under your knees at some stage. And just to say a brief thing about heart opening before we come in. People, those of you who practice lots of yoga will associate opening the heart, opening this part of the body, symbolically and physically, with back bending, with extension of the spine like that. And we are going to be doing quite a lot of that. But I also want to let you know that we're working specifically with a Chinese understanding of meridians in this practice, not only an ancient Indian understanding of energy and the subtle body. So the heart and lung meridians are paired, the organs are paired in traditional Chinese medicine. And all you need to know, don't need to know any of the theory here, all you need to know is that we'll be working a lot from the heart center all the way down the inside seam of the arms to the fingertips. And I'll try and remember to remind you to constantly bring your awareness to these lines. If you like, you can think of them as sacred energy seams. And I'll just leave it to you to drop into the experience of that without any more explanation. If you want more explanation, you could email me and I can send you some stuff about the heart and the lungs in traditional Chinese medicine. Otherwise, coming to an easy seat, making sure that you're in contact with the floor through your sitting bones or your block. And we'll settle with our hands in Padma Mudra. This is Lotus Mudra. And some of what we're going to do this morning, some of you may have done earlier in the week, just little bits of it. So if you'd like to come to closing your eyes. And Padma Mudra has the sides of your hands and fingertips in contact, but a nice gap. Imagine quite a fat lotus bud, nice gap in between your palms. Taking a few moments to come into the body. Noticing what's here for you this morning. Noticing what you've woken up with in terms of physical sensation. Being aware of the support beneath you. Bringing particular attention to the sensation of your hands touching, your fingertips, the heels of your hands. Maybe the knuckles of your thumbs lightly pressing in towards the breastbone. And allowing your shoulders to drop away from the ears. And even here, a sense of widening, spreading across the chest and the collarbones. And a sense of widening across your cheekbones also. See how this allows your jaws to release, relax, and your eyes to soften. And then coming into your breath. You could breathe in towards your heart space and breathe out through the heart space into the space around you. Maybe like 30 centimeters out in front of you. And as you breathe in, feeling the air coming through your nostrils and down into the space of the heart. And breathing out, directing the breath into the space just in front of you. Taking a few rounds, really feeling into this rhythm and this direction of the breath. Maybe being aware of particular colours or sensations, feelings in the heart space. It's as if you're breathing in the day right down into the space of your heart, and you're breathing out your offering, your generosity, your love and compassion into the space around you. And for a few moments, either continuing this breath or leaving it to one side, asking yourself what you most need from this practice. What do you most need from this practice? Maybe, what do you most need from your day? And it's quite possible that the answer to that question has something to do with somebody else. I'm still sending all my love to Claire Waterton and Mark Toogood right now. I want to practice with them and for them. Don't think too hard about your intention, but allow your heart to let you know what it is that's brought you to the mat this morning. And then taking a breath in. And as you breathe out, opening your eyes. We're going to start with just a few rounds, not too many, of a lotus flower heart opening sequence, which is really for the wrists, the hands and the shoulders. So this sequence isn't vigorous in any way. It'll bring an awareness to those parts of the body that I was talking about, the seam from your fingertips up the inside of your arms to your heart. So joining in when you're ready. As you breathe in, you're opening this lotus bud. Backs of the palms come together. And you push your hands away. In fact, that was a breath out. I'm ever so sorry. And then you breathe in. You come back to your heart space. And breathe out, push your lotus up. And open it as it rises up through to the light. And then breathing in, bring your lotus back down again, slowly closing as it comes to the top of your head, your third eye, your throat, and your heart. So I'm going to do that again a bit better this time. So you breathe in, gathering into the heart space, into your lotus bud. And on the breath out, you open your palms, backs of the hands together, and you push away. Feel the fingertips. And then inhaling, bringing your fingertips back in and around, palms meet. And exhaling, slowly push your lotus bud up through the earth, the water, and into the light of the day. And inhaling, slowly bring that light back down again to the top of your head, space between your eyebrows, throat, heart center. So I'm not going to talk anymore, and just together we'll do that 3 more times with a lot of attention, a lot of subtlety. All I'll say is breathing in towards your lotus bud, your heart space. You're welcome to close your eyes if that works for you. I'm going to take my last one. Excuse me. And taking a moment when you finish that last round, palms open, backs of your hands on your knees, eyes closed. Feeling into the space of the heart and the sensations all the way down the inside of your arms to your fingertips, especially the thumb and forefinger. And if you were going to bring music into your practice today, I sent out all those playlists a few days ago. Now might be the time to turn that on. I wish I could play music, but I can't broadcast it. And then changing the cross of your legs. Sit sideways for you. And taking your forearms out in front of you. So you've got a nice straight spine. Feeling your fingertips meeting. And as you inhale, gently open your arms out and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Maybe your head comes back. And as you exhale, you bring your forearms together, but you scoop in, chin to your chest. And we'll continue with that movement. Take it slow, so it's a slow warming up, not only of the upper body, but there's a little bit of tilting in the pelvis going on. So as you inhale, you tilt forwards, opening your heart, maybe take your head back. And as you breathe out, you scoop in, forearms, hands together. Can you keep going a few more rounds? Trying to activate the muscles around the shoulder blades. Can you feel that? Squeezing them on the inhale and pushing them outwards on the exhale. And don't forget the pelvic tilting, if that's available for you. So the invitation with this practice today is to try, I always say this, but really try and try and leave aside any sense of what you think a pose should look like, of how you should be, so that you can completely absorb yourself in the experience and in the sensation. There's nothing to achieve in yoga other than to be present. I'm taking one more inhalation and exhalation. Maybe you feel it now in your shoulders and upper arms, and settling your hands down for a moment. Just to feel the body, to connect with the breath. And when you're ready, come into a kneeling position. Now, I know for some people this isn't so comfortable. You could take something behind your knees to sit on, or you could kneel up high. You need to be about halfway down your mat here. And breathing in, opening your arms up wide. And as you breathe out, give yourself a hug now, right arm over the left, really gathering inwards to yourself. And then as you breathe in, come up high. Don't take too much of a back bend too quickly. And then as you breathe out, slowly come down to pose of the child, hands out in front of you, heels towards your, bottom towards your heels. And then breathing in, sitting back on your heels and coming out with your arms. And breathing out, left arm over the right, give yourself a hug. Remember the sacred seams come up high from your heart all the way out to your fingertips, really sensitize. And breathing out, slowly come back down to the floor, child's pose. Breathing in, lifting your arms out. Breathing out, right arm over the left. Very gentle, very soft. Breathing in, come up high. And breathing out, come down to child. As you breathe in now, draw yourself to all fours and dip the spine, open the heart. As you breathe out, scooping up, chin to the chest. Breathing in, dipping the spine and opening the heart. Now curl your toes under, and as you breathe out and scoop, you come back to a soft downward dog. Be gentle with yourselves here. Bend into the knees. Find your way this morning. Let's be very gentle, at least to begin with. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, drop your knees. Sit back on your heels. Breathing in, opening out wide. And breathing out, left arm over the right. Little bit of a hug. It feels so good to hug yourself. And then breathe in, come up high. Maybe your pelvis comes a little bit further forwards now. And breathing out slowly, come down to child. Breathing into all fours and dipping the spine. Breathing out, scooping up, navel to the spine, sideways lifting. Breathing in, dipping down again. Really separate your sitting bones. Curl your toes under, and as you breathe out, come up to your downward dog. And take time. I would really never be in too much of a hurry to straighten your legs. You could bend one knee at a time. So good in the morning. Really connecting with your breath. One more breath in. Breathe out, drop your knees. Sit back on your heels. We'll do that sequence one more time on each side. Breathing in, opening out wide. Breathe in the day and breathe out, right arm over the left. Give yourself a hug. Breathing in, coming up high. Feel your fingertips, feel your arms. And breathe out slowly, mindfully come down to your child's pose. As you breathe in and you come to all fours, dip the spine, really dip between the shoulder blades. And as you breathe out, push the back of your ribs all the way up to the ceiling. Breathing in, dipping again. Curl your toes under and breathing out, find your downward dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. So I know there are people here today that I haven't taught before. And I'm trusting you to really look after yourselves, not to push yourselves beyond your own limits. This is okay for beginners, as it said on the saver slide, but definitely a degree of physical fitness is necessary here, I think. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, drop your knees. Sit back towards your heels. I have to say that because I can't see you. It's so difficult. So I have to trust you. Breathe in, open out wide. Feel your fingertips. And breathe out, left arm over the right. Give yourself a hug. Really cave in on yourself. And then breathe in, come out wide and open to the day. And slowly, strong abdomen you need as you come down slowly to your child's pose. Breathing in, come to all fours and dip the spine. Breathing out, scooping up. Really drag the tailbone down. One more time, breathing in, really separate the sitting bones and smile your collarbone. And as you breathe out, bring yourself up to a downward dog. Taking 2 or 3 breaths here, still feeling your way. You do need to be strong through the hands, really pressing particularly the base of your thumbs and forefingers down. You feel up inside the inner arms to the armpits. But your lower body can be fluid, you can be still moving around, maybe even dipping from side to side. One more breath in here. And then breathing out. Bring your knees down. Sit back on your heels to feel the body. Slowly, slowly warming up today. And then bringing yourself to an all fours position. Hips over the knees, hands underneath your shoulders. This is a lovely movement that we did last week that will particularly bring attention to this heart and lung meridian here. So can you bring your right fingertips to your heart space, pressing down into the left hand. And as you inhale, begin to lift the right elbow, look up at the right elbow and unfurl your arm. And as you breathe out, leading with the fingertips, thread the arm through and come down on your right shoulder, side of the head. And then breathing in, slide the fingertips past the heart space and unfurl, feel that inner seam. And exhale, thread through. Last time, breathing in, find your way. And breathe out, stay here. You can even come up on your left fingertips to give you a little bit more range for movement here. Feeling into the right ribs, the side waist. Take another breath in. Reach for the sky. And then we thread through again, breathing out. And we're going to stay down. If you can't rest your head down, you could rest it on a blanket or a cushion. And then walking your left arm out in front of you. And on a breath in, lifting the arm up to vertical, turning the thumb away and sweeping the arm behind onto your lower back. Maybe your fingertips can creep round to find the top of your right thigh. So you've got a little bit of a spin of the chest, looking over the left shoulder. And now it's up to you. If you want to, you can slide the left foot away, lifting the knee, toes are curled under. And even roll around a little bit onto the back of your head. If you roll right over, that's fine. And then there's another thing you can do, you don't have to. And that is to slowly lift the left leg as high as you like. Please don't hold your breath. I know this is quite difficult. Really feeling through the toes, the inside of the thigh. One more breath in. And then breathe out, gently drop the left knee. Bring the left hand by your face. And then inhale, you come all the way up again. And breathe out. I thought I was going to fall over right in front of you. It's quite possible. I wonder how many of you rolled over then. Just take a moment to feel the difference between the two sides. Do you feel enlivened up the right arm, the right ribs? Don't worry if you don't. And then left fingertips to the center of your chest, and begin on the in-breath to spin to the left, lead with the elbow, and then unfurl. Don't be in a hurry. And then breathe out, thread through, come down to the left side of your head, shoulder. And then breathing in, sliding the fingertips past the heart and unfurl. And breathe out, thread through. Last time, breathing in. Peel your arm up. And breathe out, stay here. You can come up on your right fingertips if you like. I like to do that. And you know, I feel a lot of obstruction on this side. Maybe you do, or maybe you find it easier on this side. Just spinning a little more, one more breath in. And then breathing out, threading through to stay. You can rest your head, you're pressing down onto your left shoulder. And then reaching your right arm out in front of you. There's a massive thump of Will upstairs, don't know what happened then. He's laughing, he's practicing with us. Breathing and lifting your arm, turning the thumb away. And sweeping the right arm over your lower back. Maybe reaching for the top of the left thigh. You can roll over onto the back of your head a little bit as you look over the right shoulder, and maybe lift the right knee, slide the foot away. Don't feel you have to do this part. And maybe lift the right leg. Just to bring a little bit of balance. Staying for a couple of breaths. I'm about to roll over myself. One more breath in. And then lightly bring the right knee back. Right hand by your face. And then breathing in one last time, lifting, 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 looking up at the fingertips. And then exhale, drop the hand down. Let's take a moment to sit back in a child's pose. So you could have your knees together or knees apart. And sitting back towards your heels. And if you can, reaching your arms forwards. You might want to take something under your forehead if your forehead doesn't reach the mat. Now in this version of child's pose, I actually do want us to activate the arms a bit. So really settling down in your lower body, really melting in the lower body. But spreading your fingers and coming up on the fingertips so that you lift the wrists off the floor. Elbows are off the floor. And so by pushing a little bit into the fingertips, you might feel more life coming up the arms to the shoulders. And maybe you even push yourself a little bit more back towards your heels. And then direct the breath into the upper back. Staying steady with your breath, always reminding yourself of any intention that you might have set today. And then walking your hands around to the left. Walking your hands around to the left. Be aware that your right sitting bone might lift off the heel and settle that back down. And now, taking your right hand over the left hand if that's available. And breathing into the right side of the body. Can you feel the right side of the ribs, the upper arm, the side waist, all the way down to the hip and the buttock? Breathe space into the right side of the body. Breathe in the day. Unexpectedly sunny morning we've woken up to here in Halton, although I think it's clouding over now. Birds are going absolutely mental. I wonder what it's like with you. And then gently walking your hands back round to the center before you walk them round to the right. Be aware that your left sitting bone might lift off the heel and actively settle that back down. Take your left hand over the right hand and spend a little bit of time inquiring into the left side of the body, the upper arm, the side of the ribs, the waist, and the hip and buttock, and breathe there. Feel it, embody that feeling. And then gently bringing your arms back to center, but this time bringing your hands underneath your forehead just for a moment to melt your forehead into the backs of your hands. Maybe even feeling as if you're breathing through your forehead. And then when you're ready, coming up to all fours and sliding down over your belly. And taking your thumbs, or your thumb and forefinger inside the opposite elbow. So you're making this kind of shape, pressing your hands into the elbow. Now it may be that for you, this what we're about to do, which is this, we're going to move in and out of this movement, heart melting down to Sphinx. It may be that you don't want to do that this morning, in which case I suggest you hang out in Sphinx because it's just gorgeous, just with your elbows underneath your armpits, or even further out if you have any lower back issues at all. And breathe, allowing your spine to drop like a hammock. Or if you want to come with me, got your forearms underneath your chin pretty much. And feel that opening across the chest and the collarbones. We need to press a little, quite a lot into the knees and the elbows to do this. And we're going to flow with the movement. So as you breathe in, begin to lift your bottom out behind you, pressing into the elbows and the knees, and melt your heart down towards the floor. And then slowly on the breath out, can you bring yourself all the way back to where you started? Let's do a few more. I love doing this. I'll give you a chance to stay in heart melting pose if you like, although I won't know if you like. Breathing in. Feel the inner arms and armpit side of the ribs. Breathing out, slowly come back. Breathing in. And this time staying here for a few breaths if you want to, or keep moving. I'm going to stay. Melting the front and the back of the heart space down towards the floor. And staying steady with your breath as you allow any sense of opening to happen underneath the arms, the chest. Beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And then breathing in, coming back for a moment to Sphinx, to simply feel the body, feel the body. And awareness of your breath. And bringing your hands closer to your ribs and pushing yourself up to all fours. We're going to come into a little flow now. Bringing your right knee outside the right hand to come into Pigeon. So it's a Pigeon flow. If you're unable to do Pigeon because of your knee, you come onto your back. We're going to flow in and out of Pigeon in other poses. So take a moment to settle. It's quite light. We won't stay for too long in anything. Fingertips out to the sides. And on the breath in, open your heart and maybe take your head back. Feel the opening of your throat. And as you breathe out, come down, leading with the heart. Then bring your chin into your chest. It's a ripple. Chin into your chest as you breathe in and you ripple up. A little bit of a back bend going on. You can always lift the back knee if you need to. And then breathe out, flowing down. Find your rhythm. Make it very intimate, just for you. Breathing in. Last time. And then breathing out, come down. And then breathing in, coming up. And as you breathe out, lift your back foot as if you're going to touch the back of your head. I'm never going to be able to do that. Maybe some of you can do that. Breathe in, release the foot down. And breathe out, lift. Back of the head towards the foot. Very light. Breathe in, come down. Breathe out, lift. Opening the heart. And then breathing in, come down. And now you can slide your hands forwards, either right out in front of you or underneath your head, just to sleep a moment in your pigeon. Feeling into the right hip, and see how soft you can become now behind the heart and the back of the ribs, the shoulders. Using your exhalations if you want to really release any tension here. And from your pigeon, gently pushing up. This is why I suggested you use the long end of the mat. Rolling over so that your left leg is extended and your right heel is into the groin. And I'm going to have to trust you to prop yourself up in any way that you need to so that you're not slumping. And turning around over the left leg. And as you press into your sitting bones, breathe in and lift your arms up. Spreading through the fingers and breathe out here. And take another breath in as you reach, finding length. And as you breathe out, come down over that left foot. And then we're going to come up again. So breathe in slowly, feel through to your fingertips. And breathe out, come down. Feeling your way, breathing in, coming up. And this time, let's come down and take a couple of breaths. Seeing if you can release into that right hip a little bit. Obviously, you don't have to reach your foot. And then breathing in, coming up. And placing your right hand underneath your shoulder. So we're going to come into some side plank variations, not for everybody. What we're going to do now, I hope, is all right for everybody. On a breath in, push into that right hand and lift the left hip and press into the left foot. And lift up the left arm. Take a breath in as you look up at your fingertips. And as you breathe out, look down at the right hand. Make sure it's underneath the shoulder. And sweep the left hand behind you again. Just like you did on that pose on your knees, maybe reaching for the top of the right thigh. Now it may be that this is where you want to stay. Please listen to your body. Or it may be you can push into your left foot and right hand and slide the right foot underneath the left and come into side plank. You can always slip the left foot over onto the floor. Take a breath in. Remember the seams. This is great for activating these meridians. And then as you breathe out, come back down with that right knee. Sit down with your sitting bones. And on a breath in, bring your left leg over the right. And exhale here, left hand behind you. And breathing in, reach up. Now feel through to the fingertips. And breathe out, wrap the right arm around the left knee, drawing it in towards you. And take a breath in as to find length. And on the breath out, find a little twist to the left. Use your eyes to help you travel further in your twist. Use your abdominal organs. One more breath in. And as you breathe out, come back to the center. And bring yourself to kneeling. Interlacing your hands behind your back. Roll the shoulders up and back and inhale as you reach your arms. And exhale, lead with the heart, Yoga Mudra. We come down onto the forehead. Roll over the top of the head. Arms come with you if that's available. And take a couple of breaths here. Really feel the weight through the top of the head. Arms and shoulders opening. One more breath in. And then slowly breathing out, sitting back, bringing your hands with you. And releasing the arms. And bringing your hands down, sliding your legs away. Coming down onto your belly, into Sphinx, or holding your elbows like we did before. And we repeat that all on the left side. So on an in, you either stay where you are, or inhaling, push through the elbows and the knees and come into your heart-melting pose, Anahatasana. And exhale, find the floor again. Find a little flow, a little bit of control here. And inhale. Push into your elbows and your knees. Lift your sitting bones. Melt your heart. And exhale, come back down again. One more time. Inhale, pushing back. Exhale, coming back down again. Take a breath here. You can release your arms. And then sliding your hands to your ribs. Lift up to all fours. And slide the left knee forwards. Only bringing the left foot as far up the mat as works for you so you don't hurt the knee. And sliding your right knee, your right toes behind. So this flow doesn't really work if you can't do pigeon, I suppose. But you could join in. You could do pigeon on the back. And then come to sitting again. Pigeon on the back is when you have your left ankle over your right knee now. And you draw the legs in towards you. Otherwise, joining me here. Breathing in, rippling open your heart, your throat. Feel the little back bend. And then breathe out, lead with the heart. And bring your chin in right at the end as your forehead comes down. And then breathing in, scooping up. Feel this ripple. And breathing out, come down. And breathing in, coming up, and feel the ripple. And breathing out, come down. And breathing in, coming up one more time. And as you breathe out, right foot towards the back of the head. Very light dipping. Breathe in, release. Don't force this. This is light. Breathe out, foot to the back of the head. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then breathe in, release. And come down to sleep just for a moment. Either arms extended or your head on your hands. And allow yourself to feel everything into the left hip and buttock, side of the thigh. For some of you, there won't be sensation. For some of you, it will be pretty intense, maybe even screaming. But it shouldn't be deep pain, just discomfort. And then gently pushing yourself up and coming to, I'll sit backwards to you now. Coming with the right leg extended. Left foot in towards the thigh and turning your torso around over the right leg. Toes are pulled towards you. And on a breath in, reach up. And as you breathe out, stay here and feel through to your fingertips. And then take a breath in. And as you breathe out, come over that right leg. Breathing in, press through your sitting bones as you come up. And breathe out, flow down. Breathing in, coming up last time. Can you feel the heat rising? I can. And breathe out, come down to stay for a couple of breaths. Really relaxing in the shoulders, relaxing in the left hip. And then breathing in, lifting yourself lightly and pressing the left hand underneath your shoulder. And as you inhale, lifting up, so you're pressing into the knee and the right foot, and lift your arm up, look up at the arm. Exhale here. Really feel the contact with the mat. And take an inhale as you reach, and then exhale, sweep the right arm behind your back as you look down at the left hand. And this may be where you want to stay. It's important that the wrist is right under the shoulder. Or maybe you'd like to lift now into full side plank, lifting up your right arm. You can always slide the right foot in front if you need to. And take a breath or two, feeling from left hand to right fingertips. One more breath in, and then coming back the way you came. Bringing your right foot over the left, and placing your right hand behind you. And take a breath in, reaching up with the left arm. And exhale, take it around the right knee. With a breath in, you find length. And with a breath out, look over your right shoulder, find a little twist. We'll take 2 or 3 breaths here just to feel our way into this little twist. One more breath in. We're not staying for anything long in this flow, it's a light flow. Breathe out, come to the center. Bring your way to a kneeling position. Rolling your shoulders back to interlace your hands, and taking a breath in, open the heart. And leading with the heart, breathe out, come all the way down, first to your forehead, lifting your bottom as you roll over the top of your head. Arms come with you, and take a couple of breaths here in this yoga mudra. You feel the compression in your throat, that's a good thing. Vishuddhi chakra. One more breath in, and then breathing out. Sitting back and coming to lie on your belly again. And we're going to repeat that whole sequence just because we can. And because sometimes repetition, it really helps in terms of bodily memory, cellular memory, and you might feel very different this time around. So coming into your version of the Sphinx, maybe holding onto your elbows inside if you're going to come to the moving heart opening pose. And as you breathe in, press into your elbows and your knees, sliding back. So it's much easier because you know what's coming. And breathe out, come forwards. Breathing in, come back. Breathe out, come forwards. Breathing in, coming back. And breathing out, come forwards. And release your hands. Slide them back to your ribs. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, bring the right knee forwards. Sliding the left leg away. On a breath in, lift your heart, really feel up the front of the spine. And then breathe out, ripple down, forehead to the mat. Chin into your chest as you breathe in. And breathe out, come down. Incidentally, in Pigeon, if you're rolled over to one side, that's absolutely fine. It's also fine to have your left hip pressing into the left heel. One more breath in. Breathe out, come back down. And then breathing in, coming up. Breathe out here. Breathing in, lift the left foot towards the back of the head. And breathe out, release. Breathe in, left foot to the back of the head. Breathe out, release. Breathing into the top of the head. Breathe out, release. And take a breath in here, and then coming down to sleep just for a couple of breaths. Melting, surrendering for a moment. And then gently bringing yourself up and rolling over onto the right buttock and extending the left leg. Turning the torso around over the left leg. And breathing and lifting up. Find that length as you root down through the sitting bones. This time we'll come straight down, breathe out. And we'll just stay here this time. Wriggling around. Maybe you feel a bit warmer now and this feels different to the first time round. And then breathing and lift your heart. And take your right hand underneath the shoulder. Exhaling here. And as you breathe in, lift up. So press through the right hand. And press through the knee and lift your left arm up as you press into that left foot. Take a breath in as you reach and enliven. And then look down at the right hand as you sweep your left hand behind your back. And this may be where you stay. So you really need to line up the left foot and the right hand if you're going to come into the full side plank. Only do this if it's right for you. If you've got any shoulder injury, of course you wouldn't do this. One more breath in. And then breathing out gently, coming back the way you came and bringing the left foot over the right leg. Left hand behind you. And take a breath in and reach, reach, reach. And then breathe out, wrap the arm around the knee. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, look over the left shoulder. Feeling your way. One more breath in here. And then as you breathe out, coming back, finding your way to all fours. Not all fours, sitting on your heels. Roll your shoulders back, interlace your hands, inhale. And exhale, come all the way down. Leading with the heart, forehead, top of the head as you lift your bottom, arms coming with you, and take a couple of breaths. One more breath in. And then breathing out, come all the way back. And then sliding yourself onto your belly for the last round of this. I personally love this little flow. It's kind of, as you get used to it, you begin to notice how it releases quite a lot of tension in the body. I don't know about you. Taking your thumbs into your elbows if that's right for you. Elbows underneath the shoulders. And inhaling, pressing into your elbows and your knees, drawing back. And exhale, slowly come back onto your belly. Inhale, pushing back. Exhale, onto your belly. Inhale, pushing back. And exhale, we'll all meet on our belly, forearms parallel. And sliding the hands back to the ribs, pushing yourself to all fours and bringing the left knee forwards, right leg straight out behind you, fingertips out to the sides. On a breath in, ripple open your heart and your throat. And then breathe out, come all the way down. Chin into the throat, chest as you breathe in, and then ripple it open. Maybe this is feeling more fluid now for you. Breathe out, come back down. One more time, breathing in and opening. And breathing out, coming down. Breathing in, coming all the way up. And breathe out here. And breathing in, right foot to the back of the left head. Just a little bit of a dip. And breathe out, release. Breathing in, foot to the back of the head. Hope you're doing okay back there at home. Breathing out, release. Breathing in, lift. Breathing out, release, and slide down to sleep for a moment. This gives you an opportunity to reconnect with the breath. If you find that quite a fast flow, reasonably fast flow, discombobulates you, this is an opportunity to bring you back in focus with your intention. What's brought you to the mat? And then gently coming up and dropping over onto the right, your left buttock, and extending the right leg out in front of you. Moving your torso to face over that right leg, pressing down in your sitting bones as you breathe in, lifting out through the fingertips and breathe out here. Take another breath in, and then breathing out, coming down over as far as works for you over that right leg now. And we'll stay for a couple of breaths to simply melt and release wherever you are observing you're holding tension. Very soft behind your eyes and inside the mouth. See how that brings a particular quality to your attention and to sensation in the rest of the body. And then inhaling, coming up, placing your left hand underneath the shoulder, coming up into that half side plank. So this is fine. You can press into the right foot, press into the left hand, reach up, vibrant through the fingertips. Breathe in, and as you exhale, turn the thumb away and sweep the hand behind you as you look down at the left hand. And maybe this is where you stay, and that would be beautiful. Or maybe you want to slide the left foot underneath the right, lift up the right arm. Find your side plank if you're going to. You can slide the front foot and the top foot down in front of the left. Take a breath in. And then breathe out, come back the way you came. Sweeping the right foot over the left leg. Right hand behind you. See if you can feel both sitting bones. And reach up through the left arm to the fingertips. Find that length, find that seam. Inhale and exhale. Wrap the arm around the knee. Pulling the leg in towards you. Take a breath in as you lengthen. And as you breathe out, find a little twist to the right. Taking a couple of breaths here. One more breath in. As you breathe out, come back to the center. Bring your way to your final Yoga Mudra. Sitting on your heels, rolling the shoulders back to interlace your hands. Inhale. And exhale, slowly, mindfully, really make it count. Come down to your forehead, lifting your bottom, roll over the top of your head. Arms come with you and stay for a breath or two here. If your neck allows it, I hope you're really looking after yourselves very carefully. One more breath in, and then breathing out, rolling slowly back again. Taking a moment now, if you're not comfortable sitting on your heels, bring your legs out in front of you. But I'd like us to just come back to the breath, palms facing down on the legs wherever you are. And come back to that heart space breathing that we started with. Do you know what we could do actually? You could place the left hand, thumb pointing out over the heart, right hand over the top, and the tips of the thumbs meet. And press a little bit into the heart space and come back into that sense of breathing in through the nostrils down into the heart space. And breathing out into the space right in front of you, out through the heart. And then breathing in through the nose, down into the heart. And breathing out directly in front of you. Just a couple more breaths to settle and to observe and to feel. Noticing everything that's going on for you in your body, your breath and your mind. We welcome it all the warts and all into the practice, all emotions or feelings or thoughts. Nothing needs to be left outside. And then gently dropping your hands and bringing yourself, to a standing position. A very different kind of flow to what you've just done on the floor. So you're probably going to be standing halfway down the long end of your mat facing me. Taking a moment to really feel the body here, feel the feet. Maybe you feel quite different now across the collarbones, the shoulders. And inhaling, lifting your arms up over your head. You can either keep your arms separate or you might want to interlace your fingers, 4 fingers pointing up, and exhale here. Take a breath in, and I've been doing this nearly every class this week, and as you breathe out, gently come over to the right. So feeling into the left side of the body, pressing into the left foot and drawing your tailbone under a little, your pubic bone lifts. This is to ensure that your core muscles are protecting your lower back. As you take a side bend. And then inhale, come up to the top. And press into your right foot as you breathe out and come over to the left. Still with that tucking under of the tailbone. Slight lift of the pubic bone, breathing into the left side, right side of the body, excuse me. And then breathing in, come up to the top. And breathing out, bringing your hands down and taking them to your hips. And taking a wide stride. You could either step or jump your feet apart. Probably about 1 meter for now. And turning your right foot towards the end of the mat. Pretty much heel to heel or heel to instep. And keeping your left hand to your hip, breathe in and reach out with the right arm. Doesn't matter if this left hip falls forward, that will depend on your body. And then when you found your length, breathe out and drop the hand to the shin. Please don't come all the way forwards, that's not the point. It's a side bend here. And if it's available to you, lift up the left arm and either look up or down. And this is a lovely pose, Uttita Trikonasana, triangle pose, to really reconnect with that sense of a seam, a sacred seam from your heart running all the way up the inside of both arms to your fingertips. Make it about that. Feel that. As you breathe in the morning. One more breath in. We'll keep it light. Breathe out, look down at the front foot and bend into that knee. Hands to your hips and slide the back foot a little bit behind you. Bring your hands to your heart now as you bend into that right knee. Keep the knee out on top of tracking over the ankle. And breathing everything into your heart space and then breathe out, open wide, out to your fingertips. And breathing into the heart space. And breathe out, open wide, look over your back fingertips. And breathing into the heart space. And breathe out to your fingertips. Take a breath in to really feel that seam right across the chest down both fingers. And then exhale, lift the right palm and slide your way into reverse warrior. You can straighten that front leg a bit and then bend back in again. Feeling your way. So we're feeling now to the right ribs, the right inner arm and armpit. One more inhale. And on the exhale, slowly come over to side angle pose, right elbow on the knee and reaching out through the left fingertips. Obviously, if you like to bring your hand down to the floor, you can, but that's not necessarily better. It depends on your body. Taking one more breath in here. And then looking down, place both hands around the front foot and lift the back heel, just for a moment in a lunge. Take a breath in here. And as you breathe out, actually breathe out here, excuse me. As you breathe in, come to a downward dog, but sweeping the right leg up behind you, if that is available. And you have a choice. We're going to come to plank. You could drop the right foot, or you might like to float forwards to plank with the right leg lifted. Not for everybody. Take an inhalation in your plank and then drop the foot. And either drop the knees or come down all the way straight as a stick. And slide your hands away so you're lying completely prostrated. Hands out in front of you, breathing through the front body. Inhaling here, and as you exhale, lift both feet and reach your hands around to the feet. Keep your forehead down. Knees are together, and inhale. And as you exhale, bring yourself into a little baby bow pose, Dhanurasana. We won't take long, just take a little inhale here. And then exhale, release. Hands by your ribs. Inhale, pushing into your hands and coming back to pose of the child. Take a breath in here. And a breath out. And then breathing in, come up high. Arms up above you, curl your toes under. And breathe out, take your hands to your lower back, fingers pointing up. And you have a choice for your camel pose, your Ustrasana, to stay exactly here. Even curve up the front of the spine, or maybe you'd like to take your hands to your heels. This is only if you know this pose, please. You need to strengthen the abdomen, strengthen the inner thighs. And then take a breath in, only take your head back if that's right for you, and breathe out here. One more breath in. And then on the breath out, gently come up, release the toes, come down to all fours. And breathing in, dip the spine. And breathing out, scoop. Let's do that again, breathing in, dip the spine. Breathing out, scoop. Curling your toes under and finding a downward dog. Finding your breath. Looking in between your hands and walk, step or jump your feet forwards into a forward fold. You can bend your knees. And then without thinking too much about it, coming all the way up. Lifting the left arm up as you take your right foot behind you. This is why it's not really beginner's class. And reach up through the left fingertips. Inhale, really press into that left foot. You can bend the knee. And exhale, come into a little bit of a Nattarajasana, a dancer's pose, pushing, kicking that foot into the hand, pulling that hand on the foot. Find your breath. I'm really wobbly. Take a breath in and a breath out, and then gently come back the way you came. Take a moment to feel the body before we take that to the other side. Hula. Find the rhythm of your breath. And breathing and lifting your arms up. If you can remember which thumb went over the top for your Padma Mudra, do the opposite now, 4 fingers reaching up. And take a breath in. And as you breathe out, come over to the right as you press into your left foot. Should feel a bit different now. Breathe into the top. Breathe out over to the left, press into the right foot. Lovely. Breathe into the top, separate your fingers, and release your hands down by your hips. I feel great, I hope you do. Take a breath in and either step or jump your feet apart. Left foot now points to the end of the mat. Right foot, and maybe bring it in a tiny bit. Begin to reach with the left arm as long as you can, reaching out through the seam of the arm to the fingertips. And then hinging, exhale. Your muscles of your legs are hugging in towards the bones. And you can pull the right shoulder back, maybe lift the right arm up. Maybe allow that right hip to fall forwards, especially if you have any jip at all in your sacroiliac joint. Triangle pose is notorious for damaging the sacroiliac joint, or at least irritating it for some people. Maybe not you. It isn't for me, but I know some people find this difficult. One more inhale. And as you exhale, look down at the front foot and bend into that knee. Sliding the back foot back a little bit, fingers to your heart space. So now it's heel to instep. Take a breath in and breathe out. Open wide. Take a breath in and breathe out, open wide. Take a breath in and breathe out, open wide. Bring your releasing in the shoulders, vibrant through to your fingertips, and turn the left palm over. Inhale and then exhale into your reverse warrior. Absolutely fine to bend and straighten that front knee as you find your way. Breathing into the left rib, the left lung, feeling the whole of that left arm to the fingertips. Take a breath in. And then breathe out, side angle pose. Maybe take the hand down. Press through that back foot as you shoot out through your right fingertips. Take a breath in. And then looking down, place both hands around the left foot, lift the back heel. So you're in your lunge and you're going to sweep that left leg back as you come into a three-legged downward dog. You don't have to do this part, you could be in a simple downward dog. And then we all ripple to plank either with the left leg raised or not. Hover here a moment. Drop the foot and choose your way down to the mat. You can drop your knees first or come down straight as a stick. Slide your hands away in front of you. We come again into a light bow, a light Dhanurasana, knees together. And lifting your feet towards you, sweep your arms back. Don't worry if you can't reach your feet. You could hold onto your leggings or not at all. You could just hold the feet up. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, find a little bow. Maybe a little bit more open than the first time, maybe not. You can flex your feet if you want to. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Hands by your ribs, pushing yourself back to pose of the child just for a moment. And then coming up high, inhale, maybe simply taking your hands to your lower back and coming into your version of camel. Maybe taking your hands to your heels and taking a moment to follow the front of the spine, even curve. Only take your head back if that's right. Really lift up your pubic bone, drag the tailbone down. This will support your back with your abdominal core. Inner thighs pulling together. One more inhale. And on the exhale, pushing up. Hands come down. When you're ready to inhale, dip the spine. Exhale, scoop up. Inhale, dip the spine. Exhale, scoop up. Really connect with the breath. Inhale, dip the spine. And this time, exhale, come to your downward dog. Take a moment to feel the body really pressing into the base of the thumb and forefinger, finding that length. And breathing expansively, breathing fully. And looking in between your hands, and walk, step or jump your feet into a forward fold. Without thinking too much, slowly coming up and lifting your right arm up. Taking your left foot behind you for Natarajasana dancer's pose. Notice how my knees are together. And it's absolutely fine for you to stay exactly here. Quite soft in that front knee, or maybe inhale, and on the exhale, float the weight forwards. Pushing that back foot into the hand and pulling a little. So this is a back bend balance. Absolutely fine if you're moving in and out of it. Take a breath in, and gently come out. And then we'll come back. Left hand across the heart. Right hand over the left, tips of the thumbs meeting. This is Ganesh Mudra. Removal of obstacles. Good place to put it. And for a while now, if you would like to close your eyes and simply come to an awareness of all sensation in the body, an awareness of your breath. Really feel the earth beneath your feet. You might feel like the whole of your skin boundary is breathing with the room, breathing with the day. Alive, refreshed, open. Maybe you can feel your heart beating. For a few breaths, tuning into what works for you. And releasing your hands and coming down to the mat again. And bringing your right foot outside the left hip and bringing your left foot outside the right hip. So this isn't available for, for everybody, I expect. You're looking to have both of your knees stacked. We're doing this because we've done a lot of opening in that standing sequence. I want to draw everything back in again. If you're keeling over, and I've been doing this a lot in the classes this week, absolutely fine to extend that right leg. Please don't compromise yourself in any way. Or you might like to place a blanket or a cushion here underneath the left knee, so you can really settle. You want to feel secure between your knees, between your thighs. And take a moment to root down through the sitting bones. Notice a sense perhaps of the weight, the energy in your body pouring downwards now, down towards the earth, stabilizing, rooting down. And you're absolutely welcome to stay right here, come forwards, or join me for eagle arms in this pose. As you breathe in, open out wide. And as you breathe out, sweep the right arm over the left and give yourself a hug to begin with. And then breathe in, open out wide. And breathe out, right arm over the left, but this time upper arms are squeezing, forearms are entangled, holding either the backs of or the palms of your hands together. And if you can, lifting your elbows and hands a little way away from your face and up. Hunching your shoulders up to your ears as you inhale, and then allow them to slide away. And then come to closed eyes. Everything condensing inwards. Come to your breath. Almost an unhinging in the jaw. Feeling the front and the back of your heart space here. Stay very close, very intimate with everything that is arising for you. One more breath in, and then release. And we'll do what we did in the yin class last night, which will confuse most people, but I like doing it anyway. So just indulge me. Taking your hands to the right side of the body and pushing through your fingertips and lifting yourself up. Don't think about this. Turn around to face the back of your mat and then begin to come round to the left. Your hips swizzle with you. When you come back down again, your right knee's over the left, just like magic. And if you need to, you extend the left leg in the half version. Please allow yourself to feel through both buttocks, through both sitting bones, so that you can release downwards. Maybe a cushion here between the knees. And come to that sense of the lower body sinking. And you might like to stay here, come down. You might like to join me for eagle arms. So breathing in, opening out wide. Breathing out, left arm over the right. Give yourself a little hug. And then breathing out wide. And this time, left arm over the right, find your eagle arms. Pressing your upper arms together. Lifting your elbows and hands up and away from you. Hitching the shoulders right up to your ears on an inhale and then sliding them away. Shoulder blades down the spine. On an exhale, and then come to your breath. I would close your eyes if you like to. So you can pour your attention inwards. So you notice everything. One more breath in. And breathing out, release. Taking a moment to feel the body before you come to our final pose, which is Upavista Konasana. Just a very simple wide angled forward fold. So if you need to, please sit up on something. You're tilting off the edge. This helps your pelvis tilt forwards. You'll take your legs as far apart as they'll go. If you can't sit upright with your legs straight, it's much more important. The forward fold is less important than protecting your lower back. So bend up your knees and see how this gives you much more of a tilt. Or sideways so you can see what I mean. Whoa. So you're like that. Or if you can, you slide your feet away. And pulling your toes towards you so you feel, if your legs are straight that is, so you feel an engagement of the muscles. You might even like to use your hands to turn the thigh bones inwards. Almost a feeling of sitting in front of the sitting bones. And then take a breath in. And either come down a little bit on the breath out or come down as far as works for you. You might be some magical person who can rest your belly on the floor. It's not for me in this lifetime. And settle into your breath now. I would invite you to begin to extend your exhalations. So you might like to count in for 3 and out for 6. Or in for 2 and out for 4. or any count that works for you. And observing how your exhalations dissolve into the day, watching that space at the end of each exhalation. Just a couple more breaths here. And very gently coming all the way up. Take your time. And bringing your knees together. Taking your hands behind you. And just very briefly, an inhale, lifting your hips up, lifting the sideways waist up and pressing through your hands and feet. Exhale here. Don't take your head back. Take a breath in and a breath out. One more breath in. And then gently lower down on the breath out and find whatever you need to settle in your Shavasana. So you might be quite warm, but you'll cool down in your Shavasana. So making sure you've got a blanket or a pair of socks. And what I'll do, as I always am doing these days, is I will teach this Shavasana until the end of the class, till 10:30, but really I would recommend a longer rest. So if you have time in your day and you can rest here for at least 10 minutes, that would be the best thing to do. But I also know there are people out there who really love to say hello, love to see other people's faces. So at 10:30 I'll unmute you all, allow you to have a chat, whatever to each other, not necessarily to me. And if you're somebody who isn't interested in that and wants to lie resting, you can turn your volume off, turn off your computer. And taking time to settle into the body now. Noticing the rise and fall of a natural breath. And feeling the support beneath you, holding you. And the sensation of air and cloth against your skin. If you chose an intention for your practice, a sankalpa, can you allow that to rest back in your heart space? And simply observe. So there's a strange combination in Shavasana of giving up completely to the force of gravity, giving yourself up to rest completely whilst maintaining a degree of curiosity. You notice maybe a tingling in parts of the body. You notice the inner workings of your mind, your emotional landscape. But maybe you don't attach too much to that content. You allow it to drift by you like clouds across a blue sky. And so if you would like to stay longer, either turn off your volume or turn off the computer. And I thank you ever so much for joining me this morning. If you want to come out of your Shavasana and join in the party. Begin to take a few slightly deeper breaths. Maybe begin to bring gentle movements into your fingers, your toes, your wrists and your ankles. Maybe even come to a full body stretch. Maybe having a little hug and a little roll around on your lower back. Whatever feels right for you. You might like to roll over onto your right hand side and take a few breaths there. And then we'll meet sitting back with our hands in Padma Mudra. It's lotus bud at your heart space. Eyes closed to simply observe for one final time how you're feeling. Maybe a sense of us all practicing together. Big group this morning. Sending big love out to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Taking a big full breath in towards your heart space. And breathing out, bowing your head chin to your chest. And when you're ready to breathe in, lifting your head gently. And opening your eyes into the room. Thank you so much. So I will come to what's going on here. Stop the recording.